Hey guys, I'm back once again for part 2 of my top 20 favorite family films. And in this video, this is going to be my definitive top 10. And these are truly my top favorite family movies. Like I said, these are movies that I grew up watching, movies that I can watch anytime and still have the same joy that I got from them back when I was really young. A lot of these movies I actually watched, some of these movies were actually like the first few films that I saw, and they really mean a lot to me. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it so the video is not as long as the first one. But like I said, guys, if whatever your favorite family films are, feel free to let me know. Post a link or comment down below, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first movie I'm going to talk about really isn't like it's a family film, but I think it has a bit of more adult themes in it. But it's Uncle Buck with John Candy. Now everybody knows about this movie. Definitely one of the best comedies of all time. Of course, Uncle Buck, he's repulsive, he's rude and everything, and he has to come by to babysit the kids while the parents are away, taking care of the mother's dad who's fallen ill, and it's a really funny movie. He has to, Macaulay Culkin, this was one of his first films. I'm a huge fan of Macaulay Culkin. You'll see later on why he's one of my favorite child actors, but yeah, just a really great movie. Everybody knows about it. So Uncle Buck, my number 10. And at number 9, this movie gets a lot of hate because it's based on a TV show, but it doesn't really follow the TV show at all. And the reason why I like it is because the people that that watch this movie, they like it because they watch it because they've seen the TV show, and they don't like it because it's not related to it. I didn't grow up with the TV show. I grew up with this movie. But leave it to Beaver. If you're a fan of the TV show, I would recommend checking this movie out. It's not a great movie at all, but it's pretty good. Christopher McDonald plays the dad in this one. But it's actually a pretty decent. It's actually a really good family film. I always enjoyed this one. I have seen the TV series and I do like it a lot. But this was the Leave It to Beaver that I grew up with, this movie. So if you haven't seen this one, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a really great one. Now this next one I've heard is in pretty much everybody's favorite childhood movies list. It's just such a great movie. Matilda, the girl that's got like magical powers and she can move things with her mind, and she's a really mean teacher. I'm not gonna go into this one. Everybody that I've seen has pretty much had this movie on their list of like top 10 films. I have a lot of good memories watching this one. Definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. And yeah, just such a sweet and fun story. Matilda, definitely classic right here. Now, I had this movie in my list of like the top good family related movies or horror related movies that are good to watch around Christmas time. And I'd call this a family film. I'd call it a Christmas movie, but it's got some horror elements, so yeah, but I always loved this movie. This movie actually started my fascination with like young monsters. This was the first movie that I ever watched that had like little monsters in it, where it wasn't scary for me, but Gremlins. What more can you say about this one? Classic movie right here. Like I said, everybody that I've talked about has seen this movie. Really great one. Definitely one of my favorite ones. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend this for young kids to watch. I was really young when I saw this movie. I think I was like, I don't know, 7 maybe. 7 or 8 when I saw this movie. But yeah, one of my favorite films of all time right here, Gremlins. And at number 6, back when I was younger, I used to really enjoy baseball. I'm not so big on it now, but back when I was younger, I loved baseball because of this movie right here, Angels in the Outfield, which stars Danny Glover, Tony Danza, who when I first saw this movie, I didn't know who he was, and then I saw his show, Who's the Boss, and I like Tony Danza, and Christopher Lloyd, who plays the Angel Al. Really great movie. The movie also stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, back when he was really young. That's him right there. And basically he's an orphan, and his dad tells him, as a joke, he says, "Oh, the only way that we'll get back together is," no, he asks like, "When are we going to be a family again?" And the dad says, "Oh, when the Angels win the pennant." And the Angels, the baseball team, they're on like a losing streak, and he basically wishes, prays to God, asking him to help out, and he sends down a group of angels to help the team out. I'm not a huge religious person, but back when I was younger, I didn't care. It was a fun movie. I didn't really care. It was a fun, funny movie, and I really enjoyed this one. Even if you're not very religious, I still recommend checking this movie out. It's just a fun, family movie that I definitely recommend for everyone. Matthew McConaughey actually plays a little part in it, but yeah, really great film. I'm also a big fan of Christopher Lloyd, and this is one of my favorite films of him, Angels in the Outfield. Hang on one sec. Yeah, sorry, I had to see how much battery is left in my camera. Now for number 5. I'm not even going to go into this movie because everybody that I've seen has said, yeah, this is one of their favorite ones of all time. The Goonies. What more can you say about The Goonies? It's just a fun story. The bunch of kids go out trying to find the treasure, One-Eyed Willie's treasure, and yeah, there's so many stars in this movie that grow up, like Corey Feldman, just so many great moments in this movie. One of the best films of all time. This is probably my second or third favorite Steven Spielberg movie. Such a great movie right here, The Goonies. What a classic film. I mean, I can't recommend this one enough if you haven't seen it. At number 4, I've talked about this movie before, so I'm not going to get into it. I read the book in middle school and I loved it, and it's probably my favorite young adult author. Rossy Boy 19, if you're watching this, bro, I know what movie I'm talking about. The Outsiders. What can I say about this movie? I'm not going to get into it because I did a review of it, but yeah, just really a great movie. This really speaks to me because back when I was in middle school, I felt very much alone. Like 90% of the time, I felt very alone. I felt unwanted. I felt like everybody hated me. So I relate so much to the main character, Ponyboy, in this movie, and it's just such a great film. This is the complete novel version. I prefer this version over the PG-rated version. This is the PG-13 cut, but the PG version has less violence, so I'd recommend, for families, the PG version is a bit better than this one for families, but for me, the complete novel. And there's so many great actors in this one. C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, pretty much all like the, Tom Cruise, pretty much all like the big name actors that, got all big were in this movie. It's just one of those movies that has like, it's like a stepping stone for all, major actors. Always a great one. Favorite one right here. Now for my number 3 movie, this movie holds a very special place in my heart. When I was younger, I was always interested in girls. I know that when you're younger and you're a boy, you're like, oh, girls, they have cooties. I never felt that way. I always just wanted to have a girlfriend. Even when I was really young, I've always wanted to have a girlfriend. And I actually blame this movie on it. But it's the movie My Girl. And I love this movie to death. It stars Dan Aykroyd, he's in it, and Jamie Lee Curtis. He plays the father of this girl, Anna Klumsky, who is the main girl in this. Was her first film, and she plays a girl named Veda, which is probably my favorite girl name. I love that name, Veda. And basically, he owns a funeral parlor, and basically Veda is kind of like the outcast of all the girls, and she's really a tomboy, which I really like. I have a thing for tomboys. Just, I don't know what it is. But, and the only friend she has is Thomas J., who's played by Macaulay Culkin. Like I said, this is probably my second favorite Macaulay Culkin film, and Macaulay Culkin is one of my favorite actors, like I said. But yeah, this movie really means a lot to me. I don't want to get too much far into it because I'm actually going to be doing a review of this movie coming up sometime next week or so, because I'm going to be reviewing some of my favorite family films, just as a way of, changing up my channel. I'm going to review some family films. But yeah, this is one of my top favorite movies, and it's not like a lovey-dovey, oh, girl likes boy type of movie. Like, it's actually it does get pretty traumatic and kind of intense at the end of it, and it's truly one of my favorite films of all time, and definitely one of my favorite family ones. And now for number 2, I would definitely say this is probably my favorite Christmas movie. And also probably, and definitely one of my favorite, this is probably my first or second favorite movie of all time. I grew up watching this movie back when I was really young. I saw it when I was like 3 or 4 on VHS, and I love the whole film. It stars Macaulay Culkin once again, and this is like the first movie. This movie ruled my life when I was younger. I don't know why. When I was younger, I would just watch movies over and over again, and this is definitely one that I would watch. Pretty much everybody knows what movie it is. Home Alone. I know that for some people this could be a love or hate movie. I absolutely love this film. I cannot, like, I have so many memories of watching this movie. It's just, it means so much to me, this movie right here. I know I sound kind of sappy right now, but I would just sit around and watch this one and the second one. I love the first 2 Home Alone movies. And I would just sit around and just watch all of them. Even in the middle of summertime, I would sit around and watch these movies because I just love them both. I do kind of like the third one a little bit, and then I stopped. Like, I saw the fourth one, I was like, no, everything else, I'm not seeing the Christmas Caper. I've not seen the fifth one, and I don't plan to. But the first 2 Home Alone movies are definitely some of my favorite family movies, my favorite Christmas movies, and just my favorite movies of all time. Home Alone, favorite. And for my number 1 favorite movie, now, favorite family film, Home Alone would have won. It would have been my number 1, but I already have it as number 1 on so many other lists that I wanted to pick something different for my number 1. I wanted a movie that pretty much celebrated familyness, togetherness. I'm not going to go into this movie because everybody knows, because it's literally considered the best family film of all time. So I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to praise it too much. The Wizard of Oz. Like I said, this movie, Home Alone would have beat this movie out. It would have. But there's just something about The Wizard of Oz that I can't really deny. It's a classic film. Everybody knows about it. It's considered the greatest family film. If I had to, I would say that I think this one and this one are probably tied as my 2 favorite family films right here. And, it's really hard to pick which one, but The Wizard of Oz, I'd say right now, takes it for me right now. For my favorite, childhood movie, it's Home Alone, definitely. Home Alone is my favorite childhood movie. I might do a separate video where I talk about my favorite childhood films, but, yeah, this is right now my favorite family film right now. Anyway, guys, that is it for my top 20 favorite family films. Like I said, if you have any good family films for me to check out, list them down below. What are your favorite family films? And happy Thanksgiving to everybody who watches my videos. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for supporting me. It really means a lot to me, and you guys are awesome, and I love all your channels as well. So I hope that whatever you plan for Thanksgiving, if you plan to eat with your family, if you plan to eat by yourself, either way, I just hope you have a great holiday. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see everybody later.